Welcome to the 4th annual For the Love of Our Children Gala. And here we are in beautiful, beautiful Manhattan's Ziegfeld Ballroom. It's a gathering of our leaders from 58 cities across the country. And our role, the role of the National Cares Mentoring Movement, our mission and our mandate is to break the cycle of generational Black poverty and to give our children a chance. And we need your help and your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Friendship West Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, please welcome one of the great moral guides of our time, Frederick Douglass Haynes III.
Thank you. Thank you. The Queen of Conscious Compassion, the Queen of Conscious Compassion, the incomparable, the elegant Susan Taylor is now recruiting soldiers of love because Susan Taylor has dared to declare war on impoverishment. She has dared to declare that we must take a stand for our future. The Queen of Compassion and Consciousness, Susan Taylor, in declaring this war, is now recruiting each and every one of you, just as she has done these amazing soldiers of love who grace the stage. Will you be a soldier of love, especially in this atmosphere infected by so much hate? A soldier of love recognizes that love is caring, love is careful, and love knows how to take care of. Love gives and forgives, and that is what we need. In this atmosphere of hate, where many are finding themselves enslaved by impoverishment, the Queen of Consciousness, Susan Taylor, says it's time to recruit soldiers of love. You do recognize the atmosphere we are in. There are poets from the streets who sagaciously portray the plight and predicament of the impoverished. Of course, you recognize the brilliance of, who is it, Lauryn Hill, who speaks of Black rage is founded on blatant denial, squeezed economics, subsistence survival, deafening silence, and social control. Black rage is founded on wounds on the soul of those who are enslaved by impoverishment. I think Jay-Z would put it like this, since we're in New York. He would say, we ain't doing crimes for the sake of doing crime. We moving dimes because we ain't doing fine. Wounds on the soul, ain't doing fine. That's what it's like. And then therefore, we need soldiers of love who will rise to the occasion in the tradition of our ancestors. Is it not providential and poetic that on this day, some years ago, Nelson Mandela strode out of prison, dignified, unembittered, armed with love, to inaugurate a new era right there in South Africa? We need soldiers of love in the tradition of the silver-tongued orator of the abolitionist movement, Frederick Douglass. Strategy for Frederick Douglass says it is much better to build strong children than repair broken adults. We need soldiers of love who recognize the wisdom and are armed with the inspiring example of the wonderful sister who we lift up on so many occasions as the brilliant actress that she is, because this dear sister found herself dirt poor and burdened with impoverishment. But one day she's watching television and she sees Cicely Tyson, and that fired her imagination with inspiration. And before you know it, she incarnated the brilliance of, who is it, Carter G. Woodson, who suggested that we become what we behold. How can you see it? How can you be it if you never see it? We need soldiers of love. And so we recruit you as soldiers of love to finally remember that we are to be armed with the spirit of Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, why? Because today they have the unmitigated gall to go back and forth. Scholars are arguing over how many times she went back after she self-emancipated herself from the brutality of dehumanizing slavery in these disunited states of America. But check out, I don't care how many times back she went back. And what we are saying is that we as soldiers of love must have the Harriet Tubman spirit and have the sense to go back to communities that are underserved, have the sense to go back to communities that too often identify with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. It's like a jungle. Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. And then they say, don't push me because I'm close to the... Y'all got that, don't you? I'm trying not to lose my head. We have to have the spirit of Harriet Tubman and go back. And when soldiers of love recognize the power of mentoring, who knows what will happen? Who knows? You may provide the Benjamin Elijah Mays, whose brilliance and example ignite and fire up a young drum major for justice who becomes Martin Luther King Jr. Who knows? God may use you as a mentor to create an environment where Martin Luther King Jr. will say, I can't stop right here. I've got to pass on my prophetic baton and give it to Reverend Jesse Jackson, who says to all of us that the blessed of us have a responsibility to help the rest of us. Who knows? God may use you in a real sense to be that Frederick G. Sampson, whose brilliance and anointing and scholarship inspired one Michael Eric Dyson. Who knows? If God uses you as a mentor, you may touch the life of someone who opens the door to a new era as you write your signature on the future, to use the language of William Shakespeare. Yes, I'll wrap it like this. Susan Taylor, the queen of consciousness, she is saying to all of us, attention, because she's declaring war. Is that not what a sergeant does? A sergeant, I'm Susan Sargent right now, and I'm simply saying to all of you soldiers, attention, attention, because we must recognize our responsibility to provide mentors so that when young people see them, they can become them. I am saying attention in the spirit of Susan Taylor. Why? Because like Harriet Tubman, we've got to go back. Attention in the spirit of Frederick Douglass, because we have to build strong young people and not repair older people. Attention. And once I have your attention, there's one say, forward march.
Okay, these are the facts. One
One-third of all black children are living in poverty.
living in poverty.
These are the facts.
These are the facts.
6.6% of all
All
African American births
are to mothers under the age of 18.
1 in 4 Latinas is a teen mother.
The
infant mortality rate for black babies is more than twice that of the national average and rising.
These are the facts.
Nearly half of all black and Latino children drop out before graduating from high school.
Every day
Every day in America, more than 1,000 black children are arrested.
1 in every 8 black men aged 25 to 29 is incarcerated.
Our young Latinos are over incarcerated as well.
Young black women aged 25 to 34.
HIV/AIDS is the leading cause of death.
The leading cause of death.
And the leading cause of death for our boys
For our young black men, it's
is
homicide.
But these are also the facts. From the hundreds of rebellions that took place on slave ships, to the students who sat in Greensboro, and the students who walked out in Soweto, we have always fought, always cared for our, always resisted injustice. We are the people who refuse to. Like then, what's important now is that we not retreat, not surrender our tradition of faith that can do. We can create powerful lives and end the state of emergency among our young. This is the sole purpose of the National CARES Mentoring Movement. Throughout the nation, our dedicated CARES circles are hard at closing that huge gap between the relatively few black mentors and the many impoverished black children in need of our encouragement. We're working on behalf of all children who are poor and struggling. Founded as Essence Cares, recruits caring adults to serve as role models, tutors, reading buddies, guides, friends, and deploys them to schools, mentoring organizations, and to the academic enrichment programs CARES is building with our partners. Disproportionate numbers of black children are on waiting lists, and they're hoping that a caring adult will soon show up. And there's a critical need for the wisdom and strength of our beautiful. The children need you so. All we're asking is this, that you give 1 hour to help save a life and secure a child.
You
You
can
can
mentor
mentor.
You can mentor 2.4 million
2.4
2.4 million
Almost 2.5 million children.
You can get five
friends.
5 friends registered.
registered. Vote.
Failing schools, the carnage in our community, celebration of thug life, the over-incarceration and relentless demonization of black folks, the demeaning of black. No, not on our watch.
You can demand your church.
You can demand your church.
You can demand your church be open for children after school.
On Saturday.
In order to teach our kids an accurate account of their history,
Our faith communities can offer the support our children.
Belonging.
Reading, math, science, technology, high expectation. With our partners, these are the group mentoring supports National CARES is bringing to challenge school. Help grow and sustain this movement by going online and making a donation. No amount is too small. Connect with your local CARES Mentor Recruitment Circle. We've lived harder and harsher times. Like then, the most revolutionary thing we can do right now is to love one another. Become a mentor. Help to secure the most vulnerable among us, our children, our beloved children.
so I'm in.
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 Are you?
And now, please welcome your host for the evening, award-winning and beloved broadcast journalist and TV host, Tamron Hall, and cherished scholar, New York Times bestselling author and professor, the Reverend Dr. Michael Eric Dyson.
I'm in. Are you in? Yes.
Tamron, it's so good to be here with you again.
And again, I have the first line, but the man tries to take it. Excuse me. It says here, Tamron. Got to be more careful who you co-host with.
Don't you have a show to prepare for?
I do. Well, thank you, everyone. I could not be more proud to be back standing with National CARES. It's a stunning network of 58 affiliates across the nation, and our dear friend, Susan L. Taylor, leading those soldiers, as you saw there. Every single day, Susan and the people you saw on this stage, and some of them who were not here but are watching us streaming, and their hearts and souls are with us. Every day, they work tirelessly with love to help ensure the day that we no longer have to say that 1 in 5 of all the nation's children are born into poverty. Poverty is a wall lined with barbed wire for our young ones, disrupting quality health care and making them vulnerable to hunger, homelessness, harms, and abuses that derail our babies. These are our babies. It harms their development and lead to physical, mental, and academic challenges. Without intentional intervention, these disruptions will last a lifetime. Poverty rarely discussed in public conversations, and we know, though, it crushes dreams. From the children it harms, and it's also harmful to all of us here. Society gives no account for the needed brilliance and innovation that is lost because we don't make the wisest choice a nation can make. Put the children first. I remember every single mentor that I had who told me that I would be the first Black woman to host the Today Show. I didn't even know what the Today Show was. My mother, who is here, believed in me. But when you have someone outside of your home that doesn't have an investment in you, and they come to you and give you time and encouragement, that lasts a lifetime. There are so many people that I would just encounter that I will never forget because their words made every difference in my life, and I know that you feel the same way. And this is why we stand with CARES, because we are the result of people caring. We cannot close the door once we're in. Who cares if you're the first? That means you're in the room alone. And I'm not inclined to be lonely. Yes. Stop it, my mother's here. So it is our responsibility to shine a light. It's our moral responsibility to support and guide our young people. You heard Dr. Haynes say this. He talked about Harriet Tubman, many others. It's our responsibility. We can't just be #gangster. We have to be in this with action, with our commitment to not just get in the room, but fill the room. Because if they see us as they're watching, they know they can be it. Because if I didn't see Iola Johnson in Dallas-Fort Worth, the first Black woman to anchor the news in Dallas, if I had not seen her, how would I know that I could be her too? She is me all these years later. So in the tradition of CARES galas, tonight we will honor those who use their power to advance children. Because if you don't use your power in this way, do you really have power? Or is it just a TV show? And as always, we will shine the light on young geniuses. Tonight's gala is dedicated to the style, love, and artistry that reshapes the harnesses. That we'd be losing this if we did not share this tonight. So you will see the brilliance of teenage designers who are working with mentors, teachers who are turning harshness into what is so beautiful and fabulous fly. So welcome to the National CARES Mentoring Movement for the Love of Our Children Gala. Let's get the party started, because only one person I know can kick off a party right. And yes, I was paid to say that. Ladies and gentlemen, my amazing co-host, my brother, my friend, my supporter, my ally, this guy is the real deal, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson.
Thank you so much, Tamron Hall. Your mother's here, so I'm not going to tell the truth about you at all. But don't we have a sense of appreciation for this extraordinary woman who weathered the storm in public, maintained her dignity, and won't God do it, came out on top? And the Tamron Hall Show is coming soon, this fall? A daytime talk show on ABC. 90% of the country carrying the Tamron Hall Show. That's right. Now, y'all use the hashtag CaresGala19. Hashtag CaresGala19. And as Dr. Haynes, didn't he turn it out? That man is a rhetorical genius and a preaching machine and a verbally dexterous man. And he's a man of God. And he grabs the streets. He's joined Harriet Tubman and Lauryn Hill. Lord Jesus. Won't he do it? The co-chairs are here. My delicious, delectable, brilliant homegirl, Crystal McGuire, and my homeboy, Dapper Dan Raymond J. McGuire. Stand up. I don't know what you heard about me, but they can't get $1 out of it. Okay. And our honorary chair, Alicia Keys, fresh from hosting last night's Grammy Awards. Alicia Keys, did y'all see her turning out last night? She was telling the nation about Hazel Scott. They had to go Google who Hazel Scott was. And then sat down and did a tremendous performance. And I want to thank our all-black media, all-black everything, coming together at once in simulcast for our children. BET, Essence, and The Roots. And let me dive right in. And I got to tell you, I'm already impressed with Tamron. You know, we have a love-hate relationship, mostly hate and sometimes love. But as I stood here and saw her improvise, 90% of that stuff wasn't even up on the screen. She was just throwing down. Reverend Dr. Professor Tamron Hall is in the spot. But we're going to stay on time. We ain't paying no overtime. You Negroes going to have to sit down and eat at the right time. Belch later, haul it in. I have the incredible honor of introducing North Star Award honoree LaTanya Richardson Jackson. Now, before she comes up here, y'all know who this woman is. She's a multi-award winning star of stage and screen. And she does both the big screen and the small screen. You know she had an incredibly masterfully thespian performance in the 2014 Broadway revival of A Raisin in the Sun. She is starring now on Broadway in the critically acclaimed To Kill a Mockingbird. She lights up this stage with her talent, and let me tell you, she is chocolate charm. She is chocolate charisma. She is deep, dark chocolate, rich, bountiful, Haagen-Dazs humanity. God scooped up the clay and made that beauty right there. She is currently a board member of the American Theater Wing and the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington and D.C. She and her husband, Samuel L. Jackson, have worked tirelessly for children through their foundation to carry out her. She is my friend, LaTanya Richardson Jackson. On behalf of the entire National Cares family, it's my great honor to present to you the 2019 North Star Award.
Yeah. Hey, Marcia. I see all of my friends and family in this room, and most of you know I am not in the habit of receiving awards very well. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and was the beneficiary of a lot of hands-on colored people. This was our daily life, and my grandmother used to say, this is your reasonable portion of service. So now it's called mentoring. Before, it was your job. So I think that once it stopped being our job, we kind of forgot and moved on. But the one thing that keeps me clear is the more people I can stand next to and know that I helped or smiled reminds me of who smiled and helped me. And that's what propels me. That's what keeps me going. And I could not be more grateful for Susan Taylor and the National Cares Movement and for what you are doing, for what you are doing for our people. I am grateful. So I will accept this award on all of our behalves because we're all going to keep working, right? Somebody, somewhere helped you. Don't forget. And quite frankly, this morning, I got a phone call, and I'm going to shut up. I got a phone call from a young lady, and I was like, shit, this is my day off. My knee hurts. I'm tired. And what do you want? Oh, Miss LaTanya, this is what happened. And now they're saying I can't get mine and I need to, so can you call and talk to them and tell them and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Reverend Jackson, I'm sorry. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about. I had mentored her. I had been with her and her family in Atlanta. She is 35. I met her when she was 13. And she still has my phone number.
That's mentoring.
Hey, Tina. I'm going. Come see To Kill a Mockingbird. Because Calpurnia, whom I play, is new. She's different. And these women, service women, my grandmother, we owe them. So thank you. I'm sorry.
And now, please welcome to the stage the visionary founder of National Care's mentoring movement, a woman whose life has been dedicated to loving mentorship, Susan L. Taylor.
Wow, LaTanya. Oh, baby, thank you. Thank you, LaTanya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Reverend Freddie, thank you so much. Bless you. Oh, it's with profound gratitude to my beloved family who really have sacrificed so much. No, none more than my daughter, Shauna. Shauna didn't know how to balance so much while we were building Essence, and I gave more. If I knew how to balance better, I would have given more at home than I had. But we made it through. I always say we survived me, you know. So I thank my family, my husband, Kefra Burns, my sister Lillian. Can you all just stand up? And Bernard and Pat Martin, and come on, y'all, stand up. Lena, come on. Sheila Evans Trainum, get up, Ronnie Grant, get up, get up. These are the people who hold me. Please, get up. my Dr. Forever, Cordia Beverly. They're here tonight. And the affiliate leaders, the volunteer army. These are the people who in 58 cities give of themselves every single day. Thank you and bless you for doing the mighty work. We say that, you know, hands that serve are holier than lips that pray. And you all serve. Bless you. And I want to thank the board members, the CARES board members. Please stand and let us just love you and thank you, our board chair, Reggie Van Lee. Stand up, board members. Come on. Vivian Picard, Mike Walker, Stewart, Archibald. Stand up. Thank you. Tonight, it's a gathering on behalf of families not so fortunate as our own. You know, and I want to thank our sponsors. You are here, you're sprinkled, but we couldn't even do this without our sponsors. And you all have been so very generous. And we bow down to you. You're going to see your names displayed boldly and brilliantly. Because it takes resources to do this work. I really want to just say that the CARES programmatic works, they're built to heal the traumas of poverty. Poverty so that struggling children and families are not lost at sea. Linking arms and aims, we are their lifeline. We can and we must bring them to safe harbor. We can do this work. And if not us, then who? Not enough people. Not enough people. I can tell you this. Not enough people care. You know, it's a crime that we can't name one single city or hamlet or rural, impoverished, or urban community where the schools are functioning well. Not one. In wealthy America, with all the resources we have, not one school can we name where there are, in impoverished communities, where schools are really serving children well. In this land of plenty, poverty is the shame of the nation. So I want to be able to sing. Tom Burrell, I love the conversations we have. Madeline, you and me and Kefra. I want to be able to sing, you know, America the Beautiful. I do. I want to be able to sing and say America the Beautiful. And we can get there. Do you know how deep poverty is defined by the Census Bureau? And I'm going to ask Essence Forever. Let me just tell you that the Chief Content Officer of Essence is here. Mona? Yes. Lou, stand up. This is the new wonderful leader at Essence on the editorial side. Thank you. And Essence, please, National CARES team. I said Essence for 37 years, you know. Please come on up and join me and just stand with me. Stephen Powell and Asha Ben Belli. Come on. Yes, and Carrie Osborne and Mariella and Jane Chu and Cicely and Chris. Come on up and stand with me. These are the people at National who do the mighty work of supporting our 58 affiliates across the country. It's a small team with deep and wide tentacles. And, you know, I'm always asking Jane when we're making presentations, you know, to define how our government calculates extreme poverty. And it's an annual income of $12,169.50 for a family of 4 with 2 related children. Is that insane, Leslie? That's insane. That throws you into poverty. You have to steal something. You have to sell something. You have to steal something to live, you know? So, I mean, over my 37 years at Essence, we paid a lot of, we gave a lot of time to covering poverty. But not until we launched Essence Cares, which has grown into the National CARES Mentoring Movement, as you've heard, had I looked into the eyes of children with the dream-crushing pain of neglect and abuse, abused by the very system created to advance them. And beyond our privileged view, millions of children are made fragile, their lives shredded by poverty as they bounce from shelter to shelter because you can only stay in some of them for 3 or 4 months and then you're told to move on. Move out. Wherever you're going, we're not sure, but you're not staying here. So multitudes of the nation's children of every race are homeless, they're hungry, they're isolated, and I can tell you they're sad to the bone. Living in communities that are devastated by neglect, in dilapidated housing, relegated to gravely under-resourced schools, and overwhelmed teachers who are the most underpaid professionals in the world, in this nation. Shame on us. Jane always tells us that in her China, teachers, what, Jane? They go to the front of the line, they have cards that say they're teachers, and they have access to everything. It's the most honored profession that anyone can have. You know, only a pittance of the available resources come to organizations that have boots on the ground, like our affiliate leaders. And like Sean Dove. Where are you, Sean Dove? Campaign for Black Male Achievement. Always Sean Dove. There would be no rising program, and you're getting ready to see something about our programs, but for Sean Dove, who stepped forward. It took us 3 years to raise a dime for that program. What are you talking about? Healing? People don't understand the trauma of living in poverty. And Sean, you stepped forward with hundreds of thousands of dollars over years. We thank you for that. I'll always thank you for that. David Banks, where are you? Eagle Academy founder, boots on the ground. Where's David? Yes. Thank you. Doing a mighty, mighty work. And yes, true, some of the children we meet are hard. They're hard because their lives are hard. But hardened hearts can be healed. Alice Walker said it so simply and profoundly. Anything you love, you can heal. Anything you love, you can heal. Don't let me get to talking about wellness tonight. Maxwell, I love you. Don't tell my sister Lily in your ear, because she'll be sitting in your lap. Stay back there, Lil. So this is our guiding belief. It's not a mission, it's a mandate. You know, showing our children that they are loved, that we will not let them fall. You know, the CARES curricula are built to unearth their hope, their resilience, their self-esteem and courage, and the love for learning that all young people must have in order to thrive. So on behalf of the children we serve, and with gratitude for all of our donors who are here, thank you, Daryl, for all of our donors. So Keith Lee, I can't stand before an audience. Where are you? Where's Keith Lee? Oh, thank you, Keith. Keith, you are one of our most generous individual donors, and we will always, always just love you and honor you for that. Stand up, Keith, and let people see you. Don't you all ask him for money. His money comes to CARES. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. And we thank all of our donors out there in cyberspace. We know you're watching from all throughout the world. Cicely Gay has done an amazing job with Asha Vendeli and others in getting the word out. And so take a look. Take a look at how bold interventions, group mentoring, and trainings wedded to your belief and investment are transforming young lives. Give us a moment to get off the stage. Jack Benson, where are you? He's never, you know, I always mention Jack Benson, who just gives himself to us. But Jack, we love you and we thank you. An amazing and brilliant young man. He's going to be mad at me for doing this, but here's to you.
I'm adopted. My parents were drug addicts, and they were unable to support me. So my father's sister, my aunt, she took me in. Now that I'm looking at it, I most likely felt abandoned and not wanted, not valued. So I had a lot of that subconsciously in me. And me burying it didn't really help because I never really dealt with that.
I was living in the inner city of Chicago. My father was murdered, and my mom told me about it, and I just remember not exactly knowing what that meant.
I actually remember the first time that I committed, which was in It was an armed robbery. I was 14. I felt completely horrible. I kept telling myself, what are you doing? This is not you. I just kept ignoring that little voice in my head and just kept on going with the things that I was doing at that time.
Our emotional integrity has been compromised based off childhood traumas, since they're suppressed and not dealt with.
We piloted our program in one of our most fragile facilities, our detention center. And we work directly with young men who are incarcerated. I have been a teacher, principal in some of our neediest schools, and I can tell you that all children benefit from the type of mentoring that our students are receiving from the Rising South.
The thing that has most changed about me is my consideration towards others, because before I wasn't interested in how you were feeling. I only cared how I felt. They actually taught me how to meditate, because when I get frustrated, I just do, I don't think. Instead of acting, I just started meditating every day to myself, for at least 2 minutes, and it completely, relaxes your body and your mind. The Rising program actually, gave me the opportunity to get my first job. Right now, I am currently a barista. It's going pretty good. I love the job. I never thought of myself as working in such an amazing place like Starbucks.
It is because of programs like The Rising that make a difference in the lives of our children. It gives them the resilience and the confidence that they need to be successful.
Through the course of bad decisions, it ended me up in jail. When I got out of jail, I was presented with the opportunity to get my GED, and I went through the program, and through the program, I met my two mentors who suggested I come to the University of Parents.
The University for Parents is actually disrupting the cycle of incarceration. We now have partnerships with diversion programs, both in Fulton County and now DeKalb County is about to come on board. So these two counties are sending us people, either they get the choice of going to jail or coming to our program.
I did not want to come to University of Parents. I didn't see a reason why. I thought I knew it all. I can go on YouTube and learn anything about parenting, so I didn't see a reason to take out my time to do that.
I'm a psychologist, and I've been part of a lot of nonprofits and a lot of community efforts. And this surpasses anything that I've been involved with. Through the transformation that we see that our parent learners go through, and that's what we call them, parent learners.
My relationship with my family wasn't what I needed it to be. Me yelling at my children, me getting frustrated, taking my frustration out on them, not understanding their needs and things like that. After University of Parents, I pretty much had tools on how to deal with them, how to engage in them properly so they can fully understand what's going on and build a better relationship.
If you go through our program, you will be transformed. We don't just say you change, we say transform, because we talk about the old ways of thinking are not going to be there anymore. Our niche, a new way forward. This is a very deep inner transformational process that our parent learners go through.
The University for Parents gave me a sense of responsibility, accountability, and for the first time, I felt like my life had meaning. Like my gift actually served a purpose, and it wasn't just felt needed.
The inner self is the architect, the outer self. So we have everything available, and it's all free. And that's what does my heart so well.
Exceeded all my expectations. They canceled out any excuse I could possibly, as far as being there. If I had transportation, they'll give you a MARTA card. You got food, if you need food, they'll provide you with food. You need childcare, they give you childcare. You need money for the class, it's a free class. So, they constantly eliminated obstacles.
CARES Mentoring Movement is a mentoring program like no other. We have a robust Rising program. We have excellent University for Parents initiative, and we've infused our STEM programming into our Rising curriculum.
In our 5th academic year. Right now in our country, algebra is the stopgap course. And we know that if young people are not able to pass algebra at the middle school level, the middle school and entering high school level, then it is a very high probability they will not even graduate college. It's why we have chosen the middle school to really, really focus so that the collegiate students can model for the middle school students that taking mathematics is not only essential to their own development, but something that is actually attainable for them. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it.
When I joined the HBCU Rising program, I was a college student at Spelman. We would receive mentoring and be a part of a developmental series as well. And that would in turn prepare us to go into these classrooms and speak and mentor. And they just pour so much into us. They're educators themselves. So they have so much experience within the classroom and teaching students. And so they tell us what we should expect going into these classrooms. We talk about our experiences, what we're going through in the classrooms or at home, things that might impact the way that we come off to the students and the way that we mentor. So it's just that therapy session that we have that makes sure that, you know, we're okay as mentors before we're going into these schools and talking to the students.
CARES is really pioneering work that needs to be done if we hope to change the trajectory on African Americans and professionals in the state.
I am most grateful. I still have some more growing to do, and I'm excited about that process, being that I see where I came from.
This is why it worked. And I have to say that it's authentic. It's not driven by money, although money is what we need. So I'll make a plea for people to invest. Not everyone can be or should be a mentor. Not everybody has that to give. But whatever it is that you do have to give becomes a valuable asset to be able to catapult these programs to the place where they rightfully deserve to be, need to be in order to change our world.
If we can bring our most fragile students to a level in which they are now participating in the American dream, I think it will provide for a better society and ensure that all of our children have a successful.
The beauty of the program is that the whole community is rallying. I am so grateful that I have been blessed to be appointed. And therefore, this is my own.
An incredible commitment to our young people. And it sustains them, it nurtures them, it gives them a sense of who they can become because of what they see. Now, I know we have to stay on time. I've got a 28-second, because I see Miss Tina Maxwell, Miss Alicia Keys here. I've been mentoring this young man for 9 years. I want you to hear him right now. Hold on. I just want you to hear him. Sang, son. All right. Okay, he's my grandson. Okay, I'm sorry. What? Hey, that counts. He ain't my kid. Why do you think grandparents and grandchildren get along so well? They have an enemy in common. So, this all, of course, has been made possible by our dedicated supporters, and I want them to stand and be noted. The AARP family, right? Tanya Lombard and the AT&T family. FedEx family. Quentin Roach and the Merck family. Okay, they gave extra dough. Sandra Evers Manley, not only a corporate leader, but a filmmaker and philanthropist, all from Sim Inspirationals, who also donated our book, Please Stand and Be Acknowledged, along with Hope and Robert Smith, who are watching via live stream. I want you to stand with our gold level supporters. William Bell of Casey Family Programs, Rodney Bullard of the Chick-fil-A Foundation, Leslie and Darryl Frazier, my girl Marva Smalls from Viacom. Thank you on behalf of now more than 225,000 young people served, and also with our bronze sponsors, Bojangles and Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like my biscuit with honey on it myself. But all can help light the way forward for our young people. Tonight, what we're asking you to do is everybody in this room join us online to help light the way for our young people. They are in desperate needs, the trauma that they confront. You see what's going on in this world. We see what's going on at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You see what's going on in Virginia. That's not what we meant when we said we wanted more black faces in high places. So become a member of the CARES Candles campaign. Oh, we got many of these. Named for black and white abolitionists who lit candles in their windows. And I must say how cute it was for LaTanya Richardson Jackson to apologize to a Baptist preacher for cussing. So to help us, welcome our friend all the way from the UK, Harry Santos Olala of Givergy. Come on, Harry. Since the other Harry couldn't make it from the UK, this Harry has made it right here. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks very much. Yeah, sorry to disappoint. Wrong Harry tonight, but it's great to be back here. New York City. Fundraising capital of the world. Right here. That's where it's at. It's good to be back. Quite a few familiar faces in the audience, which is nice. This was my favorite event last year. Statistically, you had the highest audience participation across every event I was part of last year. So give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, you deserve that round of applause. But let's beat it this year, all right? In fact, actually, can you just quickly put your hands up if you were here last year? Can you just put your hands in the air? Okay, so a nice sizable number. Okay, fantastic. So you, ladies and gentlemen, are once again the gathering of the committed. But we all need to be committed tonight. Now, I don't have to tell you about the trauma. You know it well. You know what my role is this evening. But this gala is absolutely essential. It's critical that we raise the funds they need to ensure healing and community restoration. Now, just like last year, I'm going to be operating an incremental pledge drive. Okay, now there are 3 or 4 golden house rules. Number 1, when I call out a number you are willing and able to participate in, if you're able to give it that level, please put your hand firmly in the air, just so that one of the volunteers can see you. They will make their way over to you, give you a light, which I'll explain later on. Then they will enter in your donation into the Givergy system, okay? It's at that point you can receive a high five from everyone else on the table, all right? Number 2, that light, just like last year, we're going to be operating like a light the way movement, just like last year, which is why volunteers are coming in now. It's mainly for the online folk, because at the end, everyone who has made a donation, I want you to raise that light in the air at the end. It should look pretty spectacular. We'll dim the lights, and it'll all be streamed live through www.caresmentoring.org. Shout out to that live feed right now. Hi, Mum. Not a chance she's up. She'll be in bed in London. Number 3, I want table captains this year. Last year, we didn't do this. This year, I want one table captain at every table to take control of the situation. Now, I advise you not to go with whoever it is that just put their hand in the air, okay? My second piece of advice is to make it a woman. Now, the reality, and I'm sorry guys, the reality is, in my experience, they tend to just get these things done properly. They just organize the situation. You can probably tell that I'm the youngest of 3 older sisters and an incredibly strong mother, very strong will. And on the fourth and final point, I'm going to adopt my mother's cell phone policy. So it's the cell phone policy she has at every single dinner. And that means no cell phones. So please put your cell phones down, turn them face down. We don't need them. For the next 4 minutes, it's just going to be us. So turn them away. We don't need Facebook right now. We don't need Instagram. On the front row, stop emailing your team. I see you on table 6. Let it go. Young professionals at the back of the room, get off Tinder. It's a waste of time. It's nothing but empty promises. It's a minefield out there. Anyway, so cell phones away, please. Okay, we're going to start off. And actually, if I can have just a little bit of house lights, that would be good, just so I can see, because this opening increment is quite... We're starting at $25,000, which enables CARES Mentoring to recruit an additional psychologist to work with students in the CARES Rising program. Sorry, I didn't mean dim the lights, I meant lights up so I can actually see who. Is there anyone willing and able to come in at 25 right here? Table 6. Sorry, I gave you a hard time earlier as well.
Can I move over to this microphone? Oh my goodness, I feel so bad, table 6. I'm so sorry. You can use your phone all you want now. You're 25 grand deep. You're with me, Brian. Table 6. Do we have anyone else at $25,000? I saw a hand sort of, one right here on table 5 as well. So that's 2 at $25,000. Ladies and gentlemen, get behind them. That's 2 at $25,000. Sweet Lord. If I just dropped $25,000, I would want a lot bigger applause. Ladies and gentlemen, $25,000. Thank you, table 6. Thank you, table 5. Do we have anyone else at $25,000? We do. Right at the back. Right, you're going to make me work for this. Come. No high fives yet from your table. Let's get it into the system. 25 grand. I was told I wasn't allowed into the audience, but why the hell not? That's too much money. Right, so that means, do we have one more? One more. This is an absolute baller room right here. Table 21. We're at $100,000 with our fourth $25,000. Thank you so much. We're at 4 at 100,000. Oh no, they've already put the Givergy screen up. Right, we're at over $100,000 just from 4 incredibly generous individuals. That is astonishing. Last year, I actually offered tickets to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding at $25,000, which has obviously passed, but they have since been very productive. I'm going to actually offer the naming rights to the royal baby if I can get one more $25,000. I promise you I can do it. I know someone who knows someone who's on the inside. 5,000. Do we have anyone else? Okay, we're going to move on swiftly to $10,000, which covers the cost of a researcher at CARES. We're updating their curriculum to ensure that there are materials, that all their materials remain fresh and productive. Do we have anyone at $10,000? Even if you've already put it through the system, I want to feel the love. Who's in at $10,000? We had an unbelievable start. 4 at 25. Who can help me out at $10,000, ladies and gentlemen? I'm looking at the front rows. Right at the back again. Unbelievable. That's the International Mega Groover table over there. Thank you very much, madam. I'm going to come for you for a high five, but I want 2 or 3 more at 10,000 before we get there. At $10,000, just $1 a day for the next 10,000 days. Do we have anyone? No, I did the maths. It's spot on. Do we have anyone else at $10,000, ladies and gentlemen? Was that a hand up? Was that a hand over here? Now is not the time to be telling an elaborate story. That very nearly cost you dearly. Okay, we're going to drop down to $5,000, which provides 1,000 children access to super mentor role models, subject matter experts, and African-American thought leaders for 1 whole year. You're changing the lives, quite literally changing the lives of 1,000 people. Even if you've put it through the system, who's in a position to give it $5,000? Put your hand in the air. Let me know at $5,000. One right here. Thank you very much, sir. $5,000. Can we help him out putting it through the system? Brian, can we swoop onto table 2? Need you lingering around this table like a bad smell. $5,000. Do we have anyone else at $5,000? Where are we at? 129 grand. We have one more here at $5,000. Table 7. Thank you very much. Don't forget, before you receive the high five from the rest of your table, it's really important you put it through the Givergy tablets. One at table 27. Thank you very much. Table 27. Get behind them, ladies and gentlemen. We are literally changing thousands and thousands of children's lives. Where was my $10,000 donation? It was right. It was someone over here. There we go. Right here. This is where the magic's at, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have anyone else at $5,000? Right here, table 36. You did 5,000? Well, then let's get some high five action going. There we go. Anyone else at $5,000, ladies and gentlemen? Keep the pledges flooding in. In fact, can I just make sure that you're all fully aware of exactly what tablets I'm talking about? Because I'm seeing a lot of them still on their placemats right here. Can you go ahead and pick up those tablets and just wave them at me? There are 188 tablets in this room right now. Can you just wave them at me? 188, and I'm looking at about 7 right now. Come on, wave them at me. Okay, fantastic. Those are the vehicles through which we are making these donations. So please keep them flooding in. We are now at the $2,500 level. Even if you put it through the tablet, I want to count these out. I want 10 at $2,500. We have some fabulously wealthy people in the room tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me out. We're looking for $2,500. Just put your hands in the air. We have 1 at the back. That's 1. We have 2. Looking for 3rd at $2,500. $2,500. $2,500. The back seems to be... Can we upgrade the back to the front of the room next year, please? If that's possible. We just bring them forward, because I'm getting a little bit tired making my way over there. Who's in at $2,500, ladies and gentlemen? Right here. Thank you very much, madam. 2 at $2,500, so we're at 5, 6, 7 at $2,500. So nearly there. I want 3 more. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the guy standing between you and the fashion show, which is why you're all really here. So let's get 3 more at $2,500. $2,500, ladies and gentlemen. You could accidentally spend that on coffee in New York City. Anyone else? 1 more. I'll take 1 more at $2,500. Give it up for the back of the room again. $2,500. Incredible. Right, we are now coming to the very end. Bear with me. We're now at $1,000, which supports the execution of 10. Bear with me. Shh. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I hate shushing an audience. We've got to get this done. We've got to get this done right. We're at $1,000. Let me tell you, that will support the execution of 10 community wellness circles in 10 cities across the nation. So please, at $1,000, even if you've already put it through, I want to count these off nice and quick. We're at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Thank you very much, madam. 5,000, 6,000. Don't forget to put them through the tablet as well. 7,000. Thank you, sir. 8,000 at the back again. It's a real hub of activity at the back there. Real hub around the 40s. The 40s are strong today. Right here. Thank you very much, madam. We're at 8. Blowing kisses. I love that. Right, let's get 5 more at least at 1,000. 1 here. Thank you very much, sir. We're at 3 more. Let's get 3 more at $1,000. 3 more at $1,000. Who's got it? There are some incredible gowns, unbelievable suits in the room here tonight. There is absolutely no chance. We got another $5,000 over here. I think they may have done it anonymously, in which case I'm doing exactly what they don't want. We're in at $5,000 right here. A little late to the party, but ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause at $5,000. Keep those flooding in. Okay. I'm going to move on to $500. And we're just going to count these rapid fire. So I'm running out of time. At $500, just put your hand in the air if you've given at $500 already. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyone else at $500 on the front row? At $500. If someone's dropping 25,000, right over here, this is a hub over here. 5, 6, 7, 8 at $500. 9 at the back of the room. Let's get one more at $500. Keep the pledges flooding in, please. We are getting very close to our target. 500 right here. Thank you very much. Right in the middle. How did he not see it? We'll never know. Right. One last point to make, if I may. And I actually forgot to do this earlier. Who in here, like myself, is a guest? Who is a guest of a table host or a sponsor or something? Just put your hand. In fact, can you just give a round of applause to your table host just to say thank you? Fantastic, fantastic. Perfect, perfect. So if you're clapping right now, ladies and gentlemen, it means you're on a free ride. It's not okay. I know. Isn't he sneaky? He's so sneaky. He gets us every year with that one. There isn't, honestly, I promise you, my father tells me every single day, it feels like, Harry, there is no such thing as a free ride. Bear 5 years in the military, and he is the cheapest man on the planet. But it is absolutely true. There's no such thing. So please, even if you're just giving $50, $25, $10, just to say thank you to your table host, we're looking for 100% participation. You had 388 unique donations last year. 388. I want 400 tonight. Now, the last part of tonight, and these will be live throughout the evening, so please do just keep them flooding in. There's a leaderboard of the most active tables. The first table to 10 donations, I'm going to send a magnum of champagne to your table. I want you to spray it on the tables around you, Formula One style, courtesy of the Ziegfeld Ballroom, who have just been shocked into that. Sorry about that, but it's worth it. I'm looking for 10 donations from the top 3 tables, ladies and gentlemen. And now, can we dim the lights and can we light up? If you've made a donation, you should have some of these little pledge lights, some of these tea lights. If you've made a donation, you should have some. Although I am seeing bags of them with the volunteers right now, which is not ideal. In fact, let's do the tea light later on once everyone's made a donation. Because it's not a fair reflection, let's be honest. Let's have the house lights back up. Ladies and gentlemen, keep those pledges flooding in. Please, it is absolutely vital we get this organization the support it needs. It really, really means a huge amount to National Cares. You're at $191,000. Please get $1,000 between now and the end of the night. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so incredibly generous with your time, for listening, for participating. Thank you so much to everyone who's given. Please keep giving. Please, let's get to that 200. $1,000, and let's fund this incredible organization. I have been Harry Santalala again. Thank you so much. You've been incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, audience. We have one more item that was not included. In a glass case, a joint Marley. Can we start at $1 million up in here for Columbia? Maxwell sold. We are tallying now the results of the auction. It's been extraordinary, as Brother Harry said already. Please use the hashtag CaresGala19. Now I want to bring to the stage a remarkable duo. These people represent the best of who we are as Americans, but especially as black people. They're like the couple at the top of the wedding cake. Ebony and Ivory, deep pedigree of tremendous entrepreneurship and performance on the other. They have given birth. Not only are they extraordinary human beings, they've given birth to other extraordinary human beings, and they continue to mold and mentor a new generation. When they could really rest on their laurels, they refuse to do so. I want to bring to the stage now the remarkable Tina Knowles Lawson and the equally remarkable Richard Lawson.
Evening. Thank you, Michael. And let me say that we could not be more thrilled to be here. It's been my joy for my family to be longtime supporters of the life-giving work of National Cares and to watch all that our friend Susan Taylor and the dedicated teams across the country are doing to help break the cycle of Black intergenerational poverty. My beloved husband, Richard, and I have founded and built a theater center, WACO, which stands for Where Art Can Occur, in Los Angeles. WACO parallels in so many ways the mission and vision of CARES. Both are dedicated to providing access to art that engages and reflects the country's beautiful diversity. Our core programming focuses on ensuring confidence, self-esteem, and discipline in young men and women.
Now I have something I'm supposed to say is on this scroll right now, but before I say that, I just want to say that I have known Susan maybe for 30, close to 40 years, and she's one of the finest, most dedicated, most spiritually beautiful people I have ever met. I have never had a moment where I didn't feel like I was in the presence of God. We know how important mentoring is, how powerful, how transformational it is when culturally anchored adults, buttressed by faith, stand up for our children. Tonight, to underscore the power of this truth, we present to you the story of the 2019 North Star Award honorees, Cheryl McKissick Daniel and Daryl McKissick. During the darkest and cruelest time in this nation, Moses McKissick, an enslaved man kidnapped from the great Ashanti Empire in the 18th century, used his skills to light a way forward and for generations to come. His progeny has continued to do that, not just by designing and building the institutions and structures that define our world, but by mentoring and training others so that whole communities can be strong.
This is the McKissick story, a telling of what is possible during the most challenging times when we hold fast to faith and the determination to live our dreams.
We see them every day. We live in their embrace, move in and out and around, nurtured in their environs of wisdom, innovation, and culture. They gather our raucous, diverse tribes together in play. They inspire us with towering forms and soaring vaulted spaces. They provide a home and base from which to fly and fight. They memorialize our heroes, house our history, invite us to step boldly into the future. Houses of healing, houses of worship, houses of art and ritual, transit hubs that knit the world together. The first house, archaeologists say, was built by African women. Twins, Cheryl and Daryl McKissick, are the heirs to that ancient legacy. Each is owner of her own design and construction firm. And every modern structure shown here was designed, built, or managed in whole or in part by them and their family of architects and builders going back more than 200 years. Stolen from Africa and forced into slavery in 1790, their great-great-grandfather Moses Gabriel McKissick learned brickmaking from the slave master. He passed that skill to his son, Moses McKissick II, who passed the trade to his son, Moses III. It was Moses McKissick III who in 1905 founded the company that endures to this day as McKissick & McKissick and McKissick & McKissick of Washington, the first licensed and oldest black architectural firms in the country. Moses III, along with his brother Calvin, designed and built homes, banks, publishing houses, hotels, hospitals, high schools, and more than 2,000 churches throughout the Black South and in Chicago, Cleveland, and Detroit. They designed the Carnegie Library for Fisk University, buildings on the campuses of Meharry Medical College, Tennessee State and Fort Valley State Universities, Lane and Miles Colleges, the Air Base at Tuskegee, Alabama, for America's first black fighter pilots, known today as the Tuskegee Airmen. Moses III's youngest son, William DeBerry McKissick, joined the family business and became CEO in 1968. But when DeBerry suffered in 1983, his wife, Leatrice, was left with a choice: keep the company and take the helm, or sell it. After a shot of scotch, she says, and with the full support of daughters Cheryl, Daryl, and Andrea, she announced her decision to a doubting board. It wasn't easy. The learning curve was steep. The financials were a mess, architects doing deals on the side. Mother McKissick fired everyone but 2 trusted women and started over. The company grew. In 1990, Cheryl opened an office in New York City, and Daryl opened her own company, McKissick & McKissick of Washington, in D.C. Cheryl eventually closed the home office in Nashville, dissolved the original company, paid out the shareholders, and reopened McKissick & McKissick in New York as its sole owner. Today, the company has $500 million in projects lined up over the next 5 years. McKissick & McKissick of Washington has offices in Detroit, Baltimore, Los Angeles, and Houston, and is designing the new George H.W. Bush Presidential Library Pavilion. Matriarch Leatrice now chairs the board. Andrea McKissick, also an architectural engineer, is retired. Cheryl McKissick Daniel and Daryl McKissick each continue to add new laurels to the McKissick crown while providing jobs and careers to hundreds of black and brown men and women. and the next generation of McKissicks is already preparing to carry the legacy forward.
Cheryl and Daryl, it is our profound honor to stand here on behalf of National Care's mentoring movement.
And present to each of you the 2019 North Star Award.
Wow, Daryl, it's amazing to come from Tennessee, Nashville, and Howard University to make center stage. To make center stage in New York. You know, I think Daddy was right with what he was saying all those years. Why don't you tell everybody?
Right. Say, now you all can go to school anywhere in the world, but I'm only paying for Howard University.
So thank you, Susan and National Care's mentoring movement, for this award. We are honored and we are overwhelmed. Only you, Susan, could think out of the box and roll up your sleeves and get the type of meaningful work done for the people who really need it the most. Your investment in our future of our kids is paying off and making a difference. So thank you. We appreciate this platform because it informs the world that people of color are excelling in all fields and services in America. And in a decade of the woman, you are putting a face on success and providing a role model for our young girls who really need it. And we are excited that you have chosen tonight to specifically focus on design, construction, and development firms.
Now, our family has been blessed to be woven into American history and the iconic national projects that we have done. We have been honored to work on projects that are at the very core of American values and the catalyst of American change. Our projects represent purpose and that have galvanized movements to ultimately enhance the lives of our citizens and people around the world. Our projects have changed the face of cities and have invoked discussion about where we are at this moment and where we're going. Projects like the Martin Luther King Memorial, the Smithsonian National African American American Museum of History and Culture. They were all built by us
They were for us, but they're shared globally. So you got it by now. Our family has a rich history, and we have made tremendous contributions that we can stand up on and be proud. But our history is full of unfavorable verdicts, setbacks, and challenges. We have been underestimated and passed over. We are often asked, how did you start as slaves? And today, your company provides services on some of the most iconic projects in the nation and are vital businesses in major cities in our country. How did you navigate from slavery through lynchings of Jim Crow and the beatings of the civil rights movement to today, and all the evil and dark influences coming against us? How, as a woman in a male-dominated industry, experiencing more Me Too moments than you can imagine, we just thought it was a way of life. Have you won such high, visible, and complex and monumental projects like JFK Terminal 1, the largest project in the nation, $8 billion, yes, that's a B, developed by the Carlyle Group, Magic Johnson, Jim Reynolds from Loop Capital. Cheryl, you answer that question. Well, Cheryl, I can tell you, we didn't wait for any doors to open. Okay, we built our own doors and we walked through them. Yep, that's right. We stayed on purpose, and we didn't let anybody define us. We defined ourselves. Amen. And you know why? Because Cheryl and I used to sit around all the time and say, so what if our ancestors let others define them? Where would they be? They would still be slaves, okay? But because they defined themselves as leaders and builders, they would be, by the way. And you know, as a family, we knew long time ago that our mission needed to go past bricks and mortar. It needed to be purposeful. So our mission today is to enhance people's lives through the design and construction industry. And our journey is not just about McKissick. We're leading the way for younger generations of diverse leaders in design and construction. We are making sure that they know it's rewarding to be women of color in disciplines that traditionally were not welcoming to us. And along the way, it is our hope that we're inspiring others to build their lives brick by brick, engineering their steps to achieve personal and universal gain and movement forward. So in closing, Barclays Center, they call it Jay-Z's house. Well, I want you to know tonight, it's the McKissick's house. Okay, I wasn't supposed to say that. So in closing, it is only through God and the support of others that we stand here today. So we want to thank our parents, our father, who only gave us Leroy lettering sets and trains for Christmas and Thanksgivings, never a doll, who could not be here with us tonight because of our health, but she taught us early on what a strong woman looks like. And then I want to recognize the love of my covering and protector, Sam Daniel, my husband.
And I want to thank you too, brother-in-law. You are the best. And I want to thank my partner, Curb Gardner. And we have our wonderful cousin, Eric McKissick, who not only is a cousin, but is on my board of directors, and his lovely wife, Cheryl. And then my mentor for over 20 years, Shahara Llewellyn, who is also my board member. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. And good night.
Y'all gonna get going, go. Yeah. Here you go. What? And in honor of the McKissick, my